First, I'll tell you who I am. My name is Liz Dysart. I do business development for the Crawford team at VIP Mortgage. We are a power partner here. I have been a power partner for about 4.5 years, but my background really in what I do is marketing and social media. So I help all of our agent partners build their business through coaching, training, social media, lead gen, all sorts of stuff like that. And I also run the training program here at my home group called UX with Michael Marlowe. I like to see my agent partners grow, so that's what I like to help with. But today we're going to be talking all about database and 24 easy touches that you can use with your database to stay in front of them. And before I start, I want to get a little bit of information about you guys in the room and where you're at and what you're here to learn. So how many of you are new in the business? Raise your hand if you are. New meaning under a year. Okay, awesome. How many are you 2 years plus? 3 years plus? 5 years plus? Awesome. 7 years plus? Awesome. 10? Okay, great. Now, of all of you, how many of you say that you have your database dialed in? You're happy with how you manage your database? Anybody? Yeah? You're happy with it?
I don't have very many, no.
Because you don't have very many in there?
I've been using LionDesk and I really like it.
Awesome. It's a great program. That's what I usually recommend to people to use as well. But yeah, I think the majority of agents, 95% of agents in this business, I feel like don't have their database really set up properly. And I've talked to thousands of agents over the years, that's like the most daunting task for everyone, I feel like, is getting a database primarily segmented and the content and frequency of communication set up right. So that's what today we're going to talk a little bit about. What are your guys' biggest challenges with database, or why don't you have it set up the way that you would like? Nicole?
I've just been adding to my database because I do a lot of networking, so I just try to at least get them in there within the next couple days.
Great.
But I've been doing that for a few months now, and I never categorized anything, and now I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, okay.
What do I do?
This is starting to get out of control because I'm not even following up at this point. I'm just adding.
Absolutely. I think that's a big challenge as we do open houses, we get leads, we meet people, and then we don't follow up or do anything with it, right? So that can be a big challenge. And ultimately, if you have a database that is properly organized and has drip campaigns set up, you're going to get business from your database every year. Without fail, you should be getting a lot of business from your database if you have it set up right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How many have struggles coming up with content or don't know what to say to their database? Katie? Awesome. That's the biggest complaint that I hear from agents is I just don't know what to say or I don't know where to find content. And that was kind of the idea behind this class today is I'm going to give you guys a lot of resources to find free content to use with your database. Because I feel like everyone understands how to categorize the database, right? You can put people in groups, sphere, open house leads, whatever, but nobody really knows what to say or how often to say it really. So that's what we're going to talk about. And then the last question I want to ask you guys, first off, any other challenges with why you haven't set up your database the way you want it? Johnny?
Well, because you know me, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, because I'm so old school with Post-it notes and I actually still use file folders and all that, it's so hard for me to convert my day-to-day business and trust something that I've never done. So it's almost like a fear of the unknown, but a fear of the technology of it.
I hear
that a lot. Does that make sense at all?
It does. A lot of people feel like if I put people in my CRM and assign them to a drip, it's just going to send stuff and I don't know what's going to be going out, and that freaks people out because you're not in complete control, right? If you let go. So I think that is a valid fear.
And it's also a fear that you could screw up what you've built with who's in your database if you don't do it right. You know, like I don't want to. I won't mention any names, but there's certain databases where you can't change what the emails say.
Correct.
And I've looked at them and said, well, that doesn't sound like me. I would never say something like that. So my clients would be looking at it like, oh, Johnny's got somebody doing this for him because that's not Johnny.
That's not
Johnny would have swore in here. He would have said something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think it's very important. You want your messaging to reflect your personality, your style, your level of professionalism. So that is very important. However, I have a question for you guys. How many email lists do you think you're on?
5 or 6.
100.
Yeah. Okay, and how many of those do you just delete?
99%.
But you don't unsubscribe generally unless they really irritate you, right?
Right.
Or if they have a coupon.
Or if they have a coupon, yeah. So what I really try to tell agents all the time is we really overthink it. We overthink this. It's way too much. And ultimately, it's really not as important the exact words in all of your communications as it is the touch. And that's what I want you guys to start thinking about. It's proven that it's touches that people notice and gravitate towards. They want to know that you're going to be hitting them regularly with valuable content because that builds trust. If they know that they're going to be getting something from you like clockwork twice a month, that builds trust. It shows that you're, going to follow it through, you are professional, and that it's important to you. So I think a lot of agents really, really, really overthink the content of what they're saying to their database. Now, I'm not saying it's not important. It is important. However, don't let not having perfect content stop you from sending something out. I think the touches are more important because even if they are deleting when they see it, seeing your name in their inbox still registers in their mind. And that's all you're trying to do is stay top of mind with them. So I wanted to just point that out before we start. So, but I think that's a very common thing that people say is the context of the content is super important. And I would really push you to think less about that. It's more about frequency and being very consistent with your communications than it is about content. Because I think, life these days, we all are subscribed to so many email lists, and a lot of them it's just delete, but you're seeing them in your inbox regularly because at some point it's something that offers value to you. Otherwise, you would unsubscribe. And that's what we want it to be to our database too. We want them to see that they're staying on our list because they know that ultimately we're going to provide value to them as a real estate, as their realtor. That's what we want. When they have a need for real estate related transactions, it will be us. And the only way that we will stay top of mind is if we're hitting them a certain number of times a year. So with that, I'm going to ask you a question. How many touches do you think it takes a year?
12.
Okay, 12, 24. Anyone else?
33. I've actually heard
33 is the KW number. Everything on KW is their 33 touch system, which is good for sure. So the answer is 24 to 36. Every marketing guru that's ever studied email marketing or just conversion marketing in general has said that 24 to 36 touches is what it takes to actually build effective referrals and get business out of your database. So how many of you think that that's a huge, scary number?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. When I heard that too, I'm like, gosh, people are going to get so annoyed with me if I send them that much stuff. But I'm going to show you some stuff today of where you're not going to annoy them, you're going to stay relevant, and they're going to stay on your list, which is what we want. So I want to preface this by saying this is not a class on how to segment or categorize your database or even really how to set it up. I have a whole other class for that. This is more on the content and the frequency of what you're going to send to your database. So if you want the other stuff, find me after class and I'll get you that info too. But let's get started. Why Marketeers Fear? So there's been a lot of research on database, emailing, management, all that. And in today's market, it costs 5 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one or to get business from somebody that already knows you. So think about that. The people in your sphere, we all have personal relationships in our life, people that already know us, like us, and trust us. It's going to be 5 times easier to work with that person than it is to go and gain a new client. But what we see 95% of agents doing is all they're doing is trying to chase the new deal, right? Meet new people to get business from rather than trying to get business from the people that they already know. So I want you to think of that too. And then 60% better chance of selling to somebody who knows you than just a brand new cold person when it drops down to as low as 5% chance. So think about that difference. That's a huge shocking stat. 60% chance of selling to somebody who already knows you, 5% chance of selling to somebody random. Which odds do you like? Okay, so the goal is how do we stay in front of those people in a way that's meaningful to them? So that's what we're going to talk about. So here's the reality. We already talked about the reality. The effective referral-based real estate business takes 24, I can send you these slides by the way too. Yeah, I'll send it to everyone. 24 to 36 touches per year. Your sphere, so the people who already know you in your database, converts at the highest rate of all lead types at 3.74%. That means if you have 100 people that you personally know in your database, you should be closing a minimum of 4 deals a year from those people. And then if you have 800, that's 32 deals a year. So think of those numbers if you're doing it right. And then lastly, you can't expect to get business from people who already know you unless you're regularly marketing to them, providing value, and asking for the business. And I feel like that's what's hard for a lot of us. We don't want to ask for business from people that we know, right? Does anybody struggle with that? No? Johnny, I know you don't, but I see some heads nodding over here. Is that hard for some of you? Asking for business from people who already know you in a different light, maybe?
Why?
Why?
That's the real question. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I like that question. Anyone want to answer it?
Because I'm new.
New, that's a one I hear all the time. I'm not confident because I'm new. I don't know if I have all the knowledge I need. I also hear a lot of times that they're like fear of rejection. They don't want friends or family to deny them, so it's easier just not to ask, right? But ultimately, those are generally the people who want to give you business quickly, so we'll talk about that. So here's some more sales stats that I want to touch on before we get into the content stuff. So 48% of salespeople never, ever, ever follow up with a prospect. So now we're talking more about people you don't know. But 48% of salespeople never follow up, and this is true. So how many of you, and be honest, have done an open house, gotten a list of people that have signed in and never done anything with it? Okay, so 3, 4 honest people. I'd say of rooms that I do, it's generally about 90% of agents have done that at some point because we all get busy and have lives, right? But you do the work to put in all this time to generate leads, and then you get the leads and you don't do anything with them. And it's a common thing that happens, but hopefully these stats will challenge you to never do that again. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. And then this is where it gets crazy. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second, 5, 10. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact when there's only 10% of people left. So only 1 out of 10 of your competition even makes more than 3 contacts. And that's where 80% of sales are made. So we really have to think. That's why long-term nurturing with these people, you have to hit them on a drip that many times a year to get them to convert. Because you need to make those 5th to 12th contacts to convert the leads. So now let's talk about, okay, now that we know that we need to be sending them 24 to 30 things a year, what do you send them? So before I get into my stuff, what are some of your guys' ideas? What are content that you've sent out before? Newsletter, that's really common. A lot of agents send a newsletter. And let's be honest about that. How many of you like newsletters? Getting them like from yourself? I see shaking heads. Okay. So I find that this is like a very 50-50 thing here. Some agents really like newsletters, think they're valuable, and then a lot of other people think that they're boring and a complete waste of time. So wherever you fall on that spectrum, I don't care. And I'm going to show you solutions for both. But I do like newsletters because there's something that you can put out every month that's consistent, that will become part of your brand, that people can recognize and trust that you're going to be sending in that content. But the struggle with newsletters oftentimes is, how do you put one together? It can be a lot of work, or you have to pay a lot of money for it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. What else could you send?
Holiday cards.
Holiday cards. Physical, like mailed ones.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem with that?
Low response. Little.
In cost and time, right? I love holiday cards. I think everyone should be doing them, so I'm not saying they're bad, but that's the challenge. They're expensive and they're time consuming.
Would there be a problem sending cartoons from time to time?
No, I love it. If that's your personality, send cartoons. I think it's great. And we're going to talk about that. I feel like everyone doesn't have to send the same type of stuff because we're all different, right? And the more, I think, normal and boring you try to make your content, the more normal and boring it's going to be to the people that receive it. So I like finding kind of unique ideas, and I'm going to talk to you about some. So I love that.
I get the best response on my newsletter that I call a jolt when I do a section called Johnny tripped over his blank. Swear to God, people call me like, no, that didn't really happen. I'll tell a story about how I almost got hit by a car or said something I shouldn't have, and I share that in my newsletter, and I put a section that's called, you've seen mine, where
Yeah.
the LOLs, and I steal jokes from people, and I put jokes in there. There's a little bit of market information in there, but I'm not telling them something they don't already know, so I try to make them laugh and give them some obscure, wacky statistic that there's no way they would find anywhere else that's relevant, but it's just so, like, pulling it out of midair. And I get, what was my open rate, like 28%?
It was really high.
Which is
Yeah.
high.
And the
And I use
wacky,
cartoons.
the wacky statistic, is that related to real estate or anything?
Yeah, oh yeah, real estate.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love the creative out of the box ideas. What else? What are other things we could send to our database? Want me to pick on somebody? Or
I'm a huge cook. I
awesome.
love cooking and baking, and people love receiving recipes.
Totally. But that's authentic to you, right? It's
Totally.
like, I don't know that, Johnny should be sending out recipes because he's never going to cook them. So I think.
Marijuana brownies. No, I mean, I just heard they make those.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, you're good. But I think that's
bet
awesome.
you made them when you were a teenager.
No,
You
this
did.
makes it for us now. What are you
Oh.
doing? This thing, I'm so sorry.
But yeah, that's relevant to you, so I think that's awesome. What are other things we could send? I have a whole list for you at the end, but I'm trying to challenge you to pull them out of you before I give them to you. What else?
I've had luck with rental information.
Okay,
It
awesome.
usually falls into their payment.
So, and you're marketing to a lot of first-time home buyers, right? If I remember correctly, so that would make sense for your demographic. So I
And I
think,
got a lead when I said, "Are you paying $1,400 a month?" And then she responded right away and she said, "Yes, I am." And so we got down payment assistance program.
we
And
can get you a house for that same payment. Love it. Okay. What else? What other
Stats.
content ideas?
Stats relative to them.
Stats are great. I feel like people love stats, especially if they're great things about our market. How much, people love to know how much equity they have or how much the market has increased over the last year. What else? Nothing?
How about real estate information?
Yeah, absolutely. So meaning houses currently for sale, listings, sold, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, especially if it pertains to their area.
Yeah, absolutely you can. What's the problem though with sending real estate information?
It's not relevant to everybody.
Yes, so that's right. So
What do you say?
not relevant to everyone. So this is, I think, and I'm glad you pointed this out because this was on one of my next slides. The problem with sending real estate information is we have to think of the average consumer or the average person that we know. 95% of them are not interested in buying or selling right now. So if we make all of our content and communication about the real estate market, it's not relevant to them. They don't care. That's not providing value. So I do think it's our job to provide real estate information maybe twice a year minimum, market updates, whatever, or have it as part of the information that you send. In a newsletter, you can have a section for real estate info. But if all you're sending is real estate info, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose a lot of people. They're going to unsubscribe because they're going to say, we just bought our house, we're not moving for 7 years, and then maybe when they get divorced, the unknown or whatever, the kid, some life happens, it changes people's time frames. But oftentimes people have in their head, we're not moving for X amount of years, we're here forever, whatever it is. And those are the people that will unsubscribe if it's all real estate related. So that's where you can lose people. You run the risk of losing people if it's all real estate related info. What else? Yes, sir?
Just ask people, how are they doing?
Love it. So personal communication, imagine that. So I love that. I think it works really well, especially now because everything is so automated. When you do send kind of the personal questions, generally you get a good response rate. The problem with that is that it's a little bit harder to manage, right? Because if you're going to send the same, how are you doing to everyone in your database? I guess, how do you manage those responses?
You gotta put them in different categories.
Okay, good. That's a good answer. So you've thought about this, like that. So what I was going to say, what my point was, which he kind of just said, is you can't speak to everyone the same. So the people that you met in an online lead, you can't just email them and say, hey, how are you doing, right? Or you met in an open house, because they're going to be like, who is this dude? I don't. So you have to speak to people differently depending on the category that they're in. So if you're categorizing them, absolutely. What else? Any others? Okay, well I'll tell you some.
Yay.
So, 24 touches. I want you to look at your list I put together here, and I encourage you to use it and fill it out. I can get you another one but the goal is I want you guys to write down what your 24 touches are going to be over the next 12 months. So you should have a minimum of 24. On the back, there's room for a whole lot more other ideas. But as we go, I want you to fill in what you're going to do every month. So raise your hand if you're in the I think 24 is a whole lot category, which I was. Okay? So let's figure out how do you get there. So monthly email, which can either be a newsletter, a market update, homeowners information, home trends or design tips, local events, it can be a whole lot of other stuff, but 12, right? If you're sending something monthly, that's 12 of your 24. So I encourage everybody to send something via email every month. We can talk about what you're going to send via email every month, but everybody should be at least send one thing via email every month to their database. So I would encourage you on your sheet for every month, on one of your touches each month should be a monthly email. And we can figure out what the content is going to be in a minute when we discuss those options, but monthly email should be non-negotiable and that should be easy. You can automate that, right? So that shouldn't add a lot of work to your plate. Holiday emails. Who do you think is any of you offended to get a happy 4th of July email? No, right? So these are super light touches that are more personal. They have nothing real estate related in them whatsoever. So that's 8. So already we're at 20 right now, just with the monthly email and your holiday emails. So these are the major holidays I would recommend that you send. Nobody's ever going to be offended if they get a second or third email from you that month that happens to be a holiday thing. Nobody's going to be annoyed like, oh, they just sent me 2 emails and they wish me a happy 4th of July. Nobody is going to be. So the ones I recommend that you send every year are New Year's, President's Day, or Valentine's Day, because those fall in the same month. So you can choose whichever of the 2 that you'd like. Spring or Easter. So depending on the background and demographic of people in your database, you may want to pick one or the other. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and winter holidays. Obviously, there's a lot of other fluff holidays that I included on one of your sheets, but these are the main ones, and these are the 8 that I would include every year via email, automated as well. For each of these, I would include some sort of graphic that you can find for free. If you just Google Happy Veterans Day, find a graphic, put it in your email when you send it. Or Canva has tons of one that you can create yourself and add your logo or your branding on the bottom so it looks a little more custom for your brand. But holiday emails, I think, are non-negotiable. Anybody not feel comfortable doing either the monthly email and a holiday email? Everyone's comfortable with that? Good. Okay. Who thinks, well, that's a little bit daunting? Anybody? Yeah? Why do you think it's a little bit daunting?
Mostly because I don't have the resources yet.
Okay. So, meaning like a system to send it out for you?
That and how to find it and how to, like, I know about Canva. It's hard for me to get in there because I don't know how to operate it very well.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm going to show you some other resources that you can use instead of Canva. But, you know, even, I don't know, people a lot of times say, I don't have a CRM that gives me the capability to do this. If it's only once a month, you can send it through Gmail on your own. You know, you can figure workarounds for this. But I'll show you some solutions. But any CRM that you have will allow you to insert an image or a PDF in the body of the email, type a quick text, send it out to your whole list. Once a month, that should take you no more than 5 minutes to do for a monthly email, and it's worth it. The holiday ones you can set up ahead of time. I recommend doing them for the whole year. So at the beginning of the year, find your 8 holiday images or create them on Canva, put them in there, set the date that you want them to go out based on the holiday. I would always send them maybe a day or 2 before the holiday. But that can all be set up. That should take you ultimately about 30 minutes to set up those 8 holiday emails to go out for the year within whatever system that you're using. You smile.
Take you 30 minutes.
So go, like I said, do you know how to go on Google and search an image?
Yeah.
So do that, you know? I think a lot of people, getting in Canva, the graphic design is too much for some people, which is totally fine. But then rip off and duplicate. Go to Google, find a cute image, save it to your computer, put that in there. You know, nobody's gonna be upset that it doesn't have your logo on the bottom, you know? But we overthink all this, and that's what's hard.
Here's a really simple explanation or a solution for that. Somebody's sending you something, just take theirs and rip it off and send it to everybody in your list. It's the same, nobody's gonna know. It's not like it's personally from somebody. They send a Thanksgiving picture about turkey or something.
Yeah,
just
cornucopia. Take it. So, and that's the
content.
exact same thing, and that's the thing. We really overthink the content, and we shouldn't. Because it's the touch that's important. And if we think of it that way, I just need to get a touch out to my people to stay relevant, you're gonna stop worrying so much about exactly what it is. Okay, so monthly email. I'm going to show you some resources of where to get this info. We're getting to that. But you should still, non-negotiable, do 1 monthly email and the 8 holiday emails. If you have their birthdays, you need to acknowledge their birthday. Obviously, the majority of people in our database, we don't have their birthday. But I would recommend personal touches. Don't send an email on their birthday. I'd recommend call, video text, card, or obviously gift if it's a past client or a great referral partner. Video texts are one of my favorite things right now. I personally do that to all of my people, clients, Sphere, and literally some people I sing to on their birthdays. I personalize the message, but it goes so much further than just a happy birthday text or, you know, Facebook message or whatever. People really respond well to it. 100% of the time, they reply to me and say, "Thanks so much, I love that, super cute." So video text, take a minute, take your phone, don't worry about what you look like. Hey, you know, "Hey Kelly, happy birthday. I just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you today. Hope you have a great day." Some people are not comfortable with video, and if you're not, send a card or give them a call. But definitely make it a personal touch rather than an automated one via email. Next, anniversary of the home purchase. So if they are somebody who purchased through you or you know, help buy or sell, you should really celebrate that day. And also, it's a great way to stay in front of them regularly. So if applicable, send them something on that. Twice a year, we want to send them real estate related information. So this is where I think 100%, twice a year, you have to send real estate related info. If it's somebody that, a past client of yours, you need to send them a CMA twice a year to give them an update on their home's value. Who knows what the quickest and easiest way to do that is? RPR, absolutely, 2 thumbs up. So you can go in there really quickly and easily, type in their email address, put in their physical address, type in a little message. "Hey Bob and Jan, you know, it's just wanted to give you your biannual home valuation. I'm here to discuss it with you. Have any questions? So glad to see that you gained some equity this year." Hit send. It goes out automatically in about 2 minutes. So RPR. So CMAs for past clients. Otherwise, for all the other people who you didn't help sell or buy, send them a market update. Just a general market update on what's going on with the real estate market. So for that, you can get off Armlist. There's little snapshots you can get on Armlist pretty easily, or this is one of my favorite things that I think I gave to all of you, and if I didn't, I have extras up here. But this is called Altos. Lawyer's Title provides it free. It's a great service they provide to clients. It can be pulled by city, which this one is. So you'll see at the top, this one says Scottsdale, Arizona. So it can be pulled by any city in Maricopa County or by zip code. Most of the time, you will want to do zip code if you have the time to do it. But obviously, if you have people in your database in 100 different zip codes, that would be really time consuming. So I would give them a general valley market update at that point. But this I love because it's almost like a market update for dummies. A lot of them, like Crawford, has the best stats out there, but I think it can be really overwhelming for the average homeowner to read. So this one I love because it has a sentence, what the median list price is, a sentence on what's happening. So inventory has been lightening lately and the market action index has been trending up. Though days on market is increasing, these are mildly positive indications for the market. So pretty simple. Everyone can understand that. Two sentences on supply and demand, 2 sentences on price, and then it shows the median stats up here with visual trend arrows. So So it's very easy for consumers to see and understand this. So you can request this from Lawyer's Title, they'll send it to you, you insert the PDF in the body of your email twice a year, and say, you know, just wanted to give you guys a biannual market update, here's what's going on in our market right now, highlight a couple important bullet points, send it out. Let me know if you have any questions, I'm always here to discuss real estate with you.
So it's a link instead of a graphic?
No, put the graphic in. Yeah, so Lawyer's Title will send it to you as a PDF, and then you can either save the PDF and put the PDF in, or you can just take a snip, like an image, and put the image in there. But either way, this is awesome. And a lot of agents are like, well, this doesn't have my branding on it, but the email has your branding on it. Your signature's at the bottom of the email. So again, don't overthink it, just send it, you know? Mike, did you have a comment?
I think you can get those on the My Home Group website.
You can, oh yeah, we put those links back there, you're right. So My Home Group website has hyperlinks that pull it automatically for you on the back end. I forgot we put those on there. Good idea. So I don't think it has every city, but I think it has all the major cities. But basically they're updated every Monday as well, so you can always get recent ones right from the My Home Group website and save them. So thank you, great point. But yeah, these are awesome. And you know, these are also great for listing presentations, open houses, all sorts of other things. But for a database touch, these are awesome market updates because they're simple. And another thing I love is this bottom section. The quartile section is my favorite part of the report. So look up here. So this is all of Scottsdale, and it says the average median list price is $859 and the average days on market is 146. But Scottsdale is a very varied market, right? There's $200,000 condos and $20 million homes in Scottsdale. So these median stats are not really going to be that accurate depending on their price point. So that's why I love the quartile section. It breaks it down into 4 pricing quartiles at the bottom, and it shows you that the high-end pricing quartile at 2.2 million, if you scroll all the way to the right, the average days on market for those homes is 250 days. Versus the bottom quartile, the average price point is 480, days on market 79. Huge difference. So it really helps your consumers in whatever price segment of the market they're in better understand what's going on with their price segment of the market. So this report is gold. So use it. Free too. So that's what I would use for your biannual one. Twice a year, send that out. Now, for the people who want to get an A+ on their database, this is all extra credit after this. So quarterly calls, I would recommend that you do. Personal calls to your database quarterly. That's going to require a little bit of management to figure out. You're going to have to set up a schedule for yourself, like, you know, A through K, 1 month, you're going to have to figure it out. Or set task reminders in your CRM to do so. But quarterly touches go a really long way. That's a chance to reconnect with people, see how they're doing personally, see if they need any real estate services. People love it. Hardly anyone picks up the phone these days. So if you can do the quarterly calls, you'll get an A+ with your database. And then A++ is quarterly pop buys. Anybody do pop buys? Yep, Nicole just made some that are really good. So does everyone know what pop buys are? Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I'd love to, if you wouldn't mind. So pop buys are basically you show up and give somebody a little something, a gift or something. So a lot of people do food, like if they're around holidays, people will do like around Christmas, they'll drop off a wreath or they'll drop off a hot cocoa kit or, you know, just little things. You can be very cost effective and go to the dollar store and do them, but then you always include a card with your branding on it. So Nicole did a really cute one that she is for her female networking groups. It says, "Hey girl, you deserve a martini," with My Home Group logo. Cheers to working with you, and her branding on the back. And this is an alcoholic otter pop that she's giving to her women in her networking group. So they don't have to be expensive, they don't have to be anything crazy, but they should all have some sort of tag with your branding on it, and then some sort of silly little thing. Because what does this do? You want to tell me what it does?
Gets you drunk.
It could, yeah.
Top of mind, and it's unique.
It's unique. It's top of mind. Absolutely.
Where do we get those?
One of my title people made the cards for me.
But how about the
The popsicle?
You can get them at Costco.
Oh, these are at Costco. You can buy whatever.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
But people do them, around 4th of July. You can give them a little flag, you can do all sorts of things, but you're not going to do that for everybody in your database, but all of your people who have referred you business or who have done business with you should get a little pop-by from you, a little holiday something. So a lot of people they think they're going to do too many of these. They try to do one like every month or every other month, and then they end up doing none. So I think quarterly is good. Just plan 4 for the year. Figure out when you're going to do them ahead of time for the year. So I would split them up, obviously. But make one around the holidays, one in January or February, one in the spring, one in the summer. So, and figure out what you're going to do. Make it cost effective. They should cost, I think, like less than $3 each one, just to not break your bank. But you can do really cute stuff. For 4th of July, we did them this year. I did like a little box of sparklers, these funny like American flag glasses that I got at the dollar store, and a thing of barbecue sauce. All from the dollar store. So like you can get really creative, but they're memorable. And then people send us pictures of their kids using the sparklers, So that's what it's about. It's about just being relevant and providing value to people in a silly little way. So pop-bys are great. All right. So I told you I was going to give you some content ideas of what to say, because I know not everyone wants to say the same thing. So when you need content, and I'll send you guys these, by the way, but these are some ideas of things that you can do. So I have a team where every month, all they do is highlight different local restaurants. Here's our 2 favorite restaurants we went to this month. Awesome. Their clientele is people who likes to go out and eat and drink and do things like that. That hits a home run. They have people ask to be on their list to get their restaurant reviews. So that's a cool one. A discount to favorite vendors, so they've started doing that. The restaurants that they visit, they say, I'd love to feature you in my newsletter this month. Is there some sort of coupon that I could give away to somebody in my database? So then in their newsletter, they say, the first person to email me with the name of the restaurant gets a $25 gift card, or gets a coupon for a free appetizer, or whatever it is. The restaurants generally are happy to give that out. So that's obviously a good one. New technology products, specifically ones for a home. That's actually kind of on here twice, smart home tech information. So things like the Ring doorbell, the Nest thermostat, the digital garage door opener, like all those things right now are really hot in the home market, and they help homes sell quicker also. So highlighting, telling consumers about things like that, what they cost and where they can find them, that would provide value to them. First-time home buyer information, obviously, so that's where you can get flyers from your lender and include those. You can talk about different loan programs, down payment assistance, people like renter, market to renters specifically, but that's great. Home remodeling projects, gardening tips, local sports team schedules, so a lot of people do those, where they send out the Cardinal schedule or the Diamondback schedule, home decor and interior design ideas, pets, it goes on. Travel ideas, I know another team that all they do is every month they send out an Arizona day trip. Every month it's a different one. So you can drive up to Fossil Creek, and here's a picture of the beautiful waterfalls and whatever. So they kind of are more adventurous, that's authentic to them. So that's what they send to their database. These are 2 that I love, concerts and festivals and family fun events. So an event calendar, I think, is something that is relevant to almost everyone in your database. And I have an example of one, I think, coming up. I'll just go to it right now. So Lawyer's Title prepares one monthly. Same thing, where they can just send you the PDF and you can send it. But it has a variety of different types of events. Family events, adult events, concerts, food festivals, wine festivals, whatever. But somebody on your database should be able to find an event on there that would interest them. So this is another really cool touch that's valuable. They can give you their one for free. Otherwise, if you want to create your own or a more hyper-local one just on a certain part of the valley, here's a website for a great site where it basically has every event going on in the valley that you can find. And you can search by city too. So I'll go back to my list. Food and drink recipes. So we heard that one from Barb. This is actually a cool one that I saw somebody do, like the history of different things in Arizona. So we all live here, but did you know? Did you know that, the oldest standing school in Arizona is in Strawberry, and it's from 1886. and here's a picture of it. You know, like cute, fun facts about our awesome state that we live in. So that's another cool one. Inexpensive home updates, local charities, organizational tips, energy saving tips, community garage sales or estate sales, hiking trails. So there's any type of content that you can put in your monthly touch. And if you don't want to commit to doing one every month, vary them. Do one this month on this category, one this month on the next category. And that way the goal is everyone in your database should find something relevant to them in your communications. That's the goal. So does this help, having a list to kind of pick from when you're stuck? And then we're all savvy enough, right, to find content with one of these categories. So it'd be really easy to then go in and Google Arizona day trips and find one and put an email together about it. But the hard thing is when we're sitting there and don't know what to say, we get stuck. So I hope that this list will help. And you can always feel free to email me, and I probably know where to find all this stuff already. Like I have definitely lots of websites for this, lots of websites for this. I have smart home tech stuff. So yeah, definitely feel free to reach out if you have any questions on specific sections of this. So those are some good content ideas. Now we're going to talk about where do you find the content. So those are some ideas. Where can we find free content that we can use to send to our database? My favorite solution is called Breakthrough Broker. How many of you have used it? Okay. So Breakthrough Broker, in my opinion, is the best free marketing resource that there is available to agents. There are literally thousands of pieces of content on there that you can use in your business. Everything from marketing content to like accounting workbooks for your business to P&L builders, you know, all sorts of stuff. But the content, obviously, that we're talking about right now is marketing. And there's all sorts of marketing content on there that you can use for free. They'll put your branding on it for free, and then you can save a PDF for free. So it's pretty awesome. They specifically have newsletters, which this is where I recommend the people that do want to do a traditional newsletter every month. This is the easiest place to get it because there's three options. There's one that you can completely customize and put your own articles in. So for the agents who really want a custom newsletter, you can build one in their template pretty easily. There's also one where all you do is add your branding. The newsletter's already written, the info's already in there, you just add your branding to it. And then the third one is one that actually emails out right from their site. So you put in your clients' emails and it sends right from there. So you don't even need a CRM to do it. So there's three options for newsletters here for free that are all branded to you that they update every month for you. And the awesome thing too is they also have a library of back newsletters for like the last 6 years. So if you don't like the one that they've created that month, like I've seen a few, like in December, it talks about lawn snow care. Like we don't care about that here, right? That's not relevant to our clients. But then go back in the back newsletters, find a different one, and send it out in place of it that month. None of them have the dates on the top, which is awesome. And they did that on purpose so that you can swap them out if you don't like the one that month. So this is a really awesome resource for newsletters. They also are a great resource for property flyers, postcards, social media graphics, all sorts of stuff. If you want it, it's probably on here. And in your profile, you upload your photo, you put your name, phone number, website, email, brokerage info, brokerage logo, and it'll put it on the pieces automatically. So you don't have to upload this stuff every single time. Save it to your profile, all of their images, it'll upload, put it right on the piece for you. So that's a great one. Hi.
You can give that away.
Oh, thank you. You give it away really quick. No, come here.
You can have it.
This is Shelly Carr with One Guard Home Warranty. She sponsored our lunch today. She's an amazing power partner here. Thank you, Shelly.
Oh, you're welcome.
So,
yeah, I was just thinking I have this book, and has anybody read The Go-Giver?
it's a great book.
It's so good, and it's perfect for database and
Such a good one.
And
So let's, what's a question you want to ask to give it away? We'll see who knows the answer.
you asked a question about something you've covered. The teacher and me. I was going to it forever.
What is the name of the market update piece? Don't look at your paper.
Altos Research.
Perfect, there you go.
Will you read it? Are you a reader?
Will you read it?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Awesome, yay.
Yay.
This is Mike, this is Shelly.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice
yeah.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
There you are. Have a great day.
Thanks, Shelly, appreciate you.
You are
Thanks for the
welcome.
yummy lunch. Is there any left? I didn't get any.
It's in the refrigerator.
Thank you. All right, so Breakthrough Broker is a great resource because we all know that graphic design is expensive and time consuming. So that's why I'm saying don't overthink it. Slap your branding on something that is already great.
Now, is there a certain page you have to get to when you get to Breakthrough Broker, or is it just?
It's pretty easy
yourself?
to use. Yeah, when at the top there, so you create an account for free. You save your profile, obviously, and then there's a big search bar at the top, just like Google, and you literally type in newsletter, and it'll bring up everything that they have newsletter related. What I say always is like use less words. So instead of like buyer guide, just type buyer, and then all their buyer resources will come up, and they have a million. So it's a really awesome thing, really awesome resource. So yeah, this is if you want newsletters, this is a great place to get it. If you want articles to like put in your own newsletter or just send in an email to your database, they also have that whole library of content you can search there as well. All right, event calendars we talked about. I think these are super good right now. They're kind of hot right now because millennials are now our largest demographic of home buyers. Millennials like to do things like this, events, fun stuff. So that to me, this is a great thing to use. And it's not all millennial related. I mean, I can't see on here, but this is like a dance competition. There's races, golf tournaments. So they make it specifically to appeal to all demographics, but this is something that I really love. And they do it every month. And again, it's branded not to you, but you're branding and email signatures at the bottom of the email, and it comes from your name. So it's really not that important that it doesn't have your face on that. Anybody disagree? I don't think so. Okay, so event calendars I think are awesome. That's a great monthly touch you can send. If you want to create your own content that's a little more branded to you, like if you want to use the same color scheme every time or have your same logo on everything every time, use Canva. It's the easiest and free graphic design tool that I have found. There is a whole library of free templates for real estate like these. So when I typed in real estate newsletters, all these came up. So these you can use, same thing, you can change the fonts, you can change the colors, you can edit the text pretty easily, but it's a little time consuming, right? And if you haven't done it before, it's gonna probably be frustrating. So that's why if you know that you're not gonna do this every month, just go and get the one off Breakthrough Broker and save it to your computer. Because this will take you some time every month to get it the way that you want it. But they also have really cool real estate flyers for properties, quick and easy, brochures, and lots of awesome social media graphics and quotes and things like that that you can just put your logo on the bottom and post to social. So Canva is another awesome free tool to get content. And then, I'm going to segue a little here. So the next thing isn't about content, but any questions other than those about sort of those? Oh, thank you. So lots of content ideas. We only have about 9 more minutes, and I want to tell you something that I love. It's my new favorite thing right now called Reach. How many of you have heard of Reach? No? Love it. Okay. So Reach is an app. It's only on iOS right now, so Apple people. Not on Android yet, so sorry if you're Android. But what it is, it's a quick and efficient mass messaging app for the iPhone. It basically allows you to send personalized text messages in bulk. It's amazing. And you can also send emails. So if you don't have their phone numbers, you can send them an email through this as well. It allows you to set up groups for quick access, and I'm going to show you some slides of this on the next. It also, if you don't have the person in your phone, it allows you to import a CSV file. So you can do this with a list of leads. You can do this with homeowners around a house that you're selling. There's all sorts of applications, but you can upload the list and send a message to all those people, personal text message to all those people from the app. Messages come directly from your phone number, and the recipients can reply, and it goes directly to you just like a normal text would. You can include photos, videos, Bitmojis, or that's why I was thinking cartoons. This would be a good one for you to text out cartoons to people. Hyperlinks in there to like your home search site. all sorts of things. It allows you to personalize the text with the person's name, which is awesome. Hey Jan, how you doing? Thought this was funny and wanted to share it with you, and then put your cute cartoon in. It's free for up to 8 contacts, but that's not very many. Otherwise, it's $4.99 a month for unlimited. In my mind, this is the best $5 you can spend in your business every month. I use it personally in my business, and I'll show you how I have mine set up in just a second. But it shows you that you can save templates and messages. So for leads, you could have a template that you use for lead lists every month. You could have a template for farming that you use every month. And when you send the message, it plugs the person's name in, just like it would a personal text. You can include photos or videos, and you can mass text to your list.
So it'll plug the name in of the person that the phone number, in your directory?
Yeah.
So when I do, if I have 30 people at an open house, I don't have to send 30 texts?
Absolutely.
And it'll actually have their names?
It will actually have their names. So here's an example that I use. So our team uses this with our clients, which are agents. So I send out holiday things all the time. So Happy Thanksgiving, this does have our logo even though it's tiny. So this is one of our clients. Hi Mindy, Happy Thanksgiving from the Crawford team. We appreciate you. As a reminder, if you've not already RSVP'd for our holiday agent appreciation event, please do so by visiting here with a link to the Evite. Wishing you and your family a great holiday. So I sent this to 292 clients in about 10 minutes. So that's the caveat, is that every one you have to hit send, because it has to populate it as a new text to put their name in. But literally 300 took me under 10 minutes. So if you're doing it to a smaller group like 30, it'll take you a minute. And people love it because it has their name, it comes from you as a personal text, and they can reply to you. Also, you can do silly things like this, where it doesn't feel like it's automated. This, you clearly can see that it's going to more people because it's a little more generic with all this other stuff in there. But oftentimes then I just do stuff like this. A little bit emoji me, Happy St. Patrick's Day. You can send those out, and instead of texting one by one by one by one, send it to everybody. Very easily. You can create groups within the app that then you can just click on the group and segment your people a little easier. Open house leads, sphere of influence, friends and family, whatever it is. And you can edit the groups easily. You can also import a CSV file, as I mentioned. So if you are doing an open house, you can text all the neighbors and say, hey, I'm doing an open house hey Bob, I'm doing an open house at your neighbor's house at 1234 Main Street on Saturday. Would love for you to stop by and check it out. Whatever. So you can use it for lots of other applications, but super easy to use. And then this, I'm almost running out of time, I put together for one of my teams that I work with. So REACH, SOI stands for Sphere of Influence. So this is more for people that you know, friends, family, past clients, people that personally know you. But they were like, Liz, we love the REACH app, but we're just not going to want to think of what to send every month, right? It's the same old thing. We just don't know what to say. So I wrote out their monthly text every single month for them of what I would encourage them to send. So in this combined videos, images, like little Bitmoji things, and just straight verbs, straight words. So when it's just words, hey, how you doing? That feels very personal, right? Even though you're sending it to 40 people at once. So here's some great ideas for you guys every month of what you could say. This is October, if you'll notice, is an ask for business. I need to help a few more families to hit my goals this year. Do you know anyone looking to buy or sell a home? I'd love to help them. So what I tried to do throughout here is do some fun, light touches, and then some asks for business in there as well. And then a couple that remind them that you're a real estate agent as well. So I wanted to check in as our real estate market is hot right now. We still have low inventory and homes are selling quickly. If you've thought about buying or selling in the next 12 months, I'd love to chat with you and interview for the job. So the goal is, remind them you're a realtor, but also put in light, fun content so that they keep replying to you. Because these are your sphere. These are people that you know. You don't want to piss them off by asking for business all the time. So this is super helpful. On the back is a bunch of other holiday dates, and then the silly holidays if you just do want to send a fun Happy St. Patrick's Day message or whatever. So those are some great touches as well. We talked about Altos already. And then lastly, cultivating your sphere. Once you get your database set up, there's a whole bunch of other ideas you can do to continually nurture and grow your sphere to get more business. We don't really have time for that, but I'll send you guys the slides so you'll have it. And lastly, does your lender partner help you grow? If you don't have a lender who's helping you with your business in all these type of ways, we would love the opportunity to work with you guys. And that will be the last.
And I'll put in a plug for them.
Oh,
I
thanks,
only
Barb.
use them because they're amazing for every closing that I ever have. And my clients thank me for connecting them with them, so.
Thank you.
That's why.
I appreciate it.
That's just a little PS.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have all 5-star reviews on our site, so I'll send you guys the links in my email. But we do a really great job on keeping our borrowers updated and keeping our agent partners updated too. So that's enough about me. Questions about this content or stuff? I really encourage you guys to finish this worksheet. So go through, write in here what your 2 touches are going to be every month. If you want to vamp it up a little, turn it to the back, and this is where you can talk about your personal touches, your pop buys, birthday cards, kind of what your goals are going to be as far as referrals from your database. So I really hope that you guys found value. We're out of time. I wish I had more time to talk, but I don't. Any questions or comments?
Great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
I'll be around
Do you
after
need more of
questions.
those sheets?
I do, yeah, there's some up here. Oh, and I have a plug for class tomorrow that I'm teaching. Amanda Sue Briggs, who's a partner here with Lawyers Title, and myself are teaching an Inman update class. We both attended the Inman Connect conference last week in Las Vegas, and it's a 2-hour class on all the new tech and trends and things shaping our industry lawsuits and kind of what we see as the future of the industry moving forward. So it's going to be a really good class. It's at my office on Via de Ventura in the 101, so VIP Mortgage from 1 to 3 tomorrow, if you can make it. We'd love to see you there.
So that was an automated text RSVP I got this morning, huh?
Yes. Yes, it was. You're figuring us out. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Yes.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah. Here. No, all the
Because
rest.
Suzette she's at an inspection and she said, get 2 or whatever.
Yeah, here. Here, we're gonna do all this stuff. There's those. Great to see you. Will you be there tomorrow?
I might.
Good. It's a good one. It's my favorite class that I do.
I'm not a very good person with tech. I'm like, I know mine.
Well, so this is, the whole beginning is just about like changes that are happening in our industry, like disruptors and lawsuits against NAR and like big stuff. Yeah, that's
Did you say
happening.
1 to 3?
1 to 3,
Okay.
yep. And 9221 East Via de Ventura, if you haven't been there. We have the whole building, VIP Mortgage.
Do you have to register for that, or can you just drop in?
You're supposed to register, but
Are you going to
It's
send
okay.
us all
Yeah.
an email on this?
I can.
Did we sign in?
Yeah, if everyone's signed in, I'll send you the slides and I can include the flyer for tomorrow on there too.